You wrote a bad song, Petey. Wait, what? That's not even the right movie. Can You Ever Forgive Me is the true life story of Lee Israel. She is an author who fell on some hard times, and really she just wrote biographies. Melissa McCarthy stars as a title role as Lee, and she does a phenomenal job in her performance. I mean, she transforms, and this is not your typical Melissa McCarthy movie. This is not a comedy by any means. It is definitely a drama, and it's a biopic about Lee Israel. And just you watching Melissa really transform a little bit. Now, I mean, she looks the same, and it's not that. It's just that she totally abandons her whole shtick of this just absurd comic and really just plays the tragedy. She's abrasive, reclusive, downright mean. I mean, you just don't even like her, and you're not supposed to, but I guess that kind of makes it a little touchy if that's the main character of the movie. Richard E. Grant plays Jack Hawk, and he is probably the closest thing that Lee Israel has as a friend. And he's not really totally a friend. He's kind of a drinking buddy and an accomplice at one point. His performance is really good. I mean, he's endearing. You just enjoy watching him on the screen, and as he interacts with Lee, you get this this genuineness that he's coming across, and he's just struggling to survive, and both of them kind of are, and so they buddy up, and even though they're not buddies, and really they're not really friends, at least in the way that they treat each other. Now, like I said, this is a true life story about the author Lee Israel, and now the whole reason for this is that she forged letters from authors, from prominent authors, to people, and then she sold them to collectors and bookstores and to make money. And she forged over 400 letters in this stint that she was doing it, because she was down on her luck, and she's just, you know, her rent is due. She can't take her cat to the vet. I mean, she has no grocery money. She's really just down in the dumps, and she's at poverty's door there, and she can't really sell a book. Nobody wants to buy these biopics, or these biographies rather, of these obscure people that nobody really cares about anymore. The movie as a whole is slow. That's unfortunate because the pace of it really outweighed the performances. Now, the film is based off of the memoir of Lee Israel, and it's called Can You Ever Forgive Me? That's where they got the title for the film. Get it? Okay. Well, we don't get a true in-depth feeling of Lee's life. And I think that's because she's so walled off. And so even in her memoir, she puts up all of these boundaries that we can't get into. And so we really only get kind of a periphery on her. Now, we get little glimpses here and there, and we can start to form a picture of who she is and why she is what she is, but not totally. We don't get a lot of background. We don't get really too much into her personal life, except for what's going on as she's forging these letters. There is some tension in the film, and as the drama increases and we get towards this climax, you expect this kind of a good payoff there, at least a little bit. I mean, the tension was there, and you could feel it building, but when it came, it was totally anticlimactic. And you have this, what should have been a payoff becomes really just a paper exchange. Now, Melissa McCarthy's real life husband, Ben Falcone, is in this as well. Now, he didn't direct it. Now, he directs a lot of her movies, and then he puts himself into it. But he's in this film too, and I'm wondering if he has kind of a Clint Howard type of deal, you know, so when Ron Howard directs a film, Clint Howard, his brother, gets to be in it. And so it seems like every time Melissa McCarthy does a movie, her husband gets to be in it. I don't know. If you're gonna see this, Melissa McCarthy and Richard E. Grant's performances, that's what's gonna draw you in. And that's why you should watch it, because they are just outstanding. They work well together, even though they're like oil and water, and they just, you know, like this sometimes, but then they're also like this. And so they have some really great moments together where they're getting along and where they're also just butting heads. There's no sex or violence. There's some brief nudity and a lot of profanity. I'd really save Can You Ever Forgive Me for Redbox or Netflix. Despite the performances being outstanding, the pace was just really slow, and then you have the anticlimactic story to go along with it. I give Can You Ever Forgive Me 3 out of 5 couches. Who is your favorite author? I'd love to know in the comments below. Mine, I'm going to say a playwright. It's David Mamet. I just love the way that he writes and his rapid fire dialogue, just the way that he forms characters. But I'd love to know who you like in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you know when I upload new content. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.